Now, on the bottom of the deck, we have the Dreamer. The Dreamer's comparable with the Fool card in other decks. This is about taking a leap of faith, having new beginnings, following your dreams into something brand new. You guys are facing a good deal of changes, but in a really, really good place at the same time. Excuse me. If you've been through a lot of struggle, it really looks like the worst is behind you. I'm not even really seeing a great deal of after effects of pain and stress looking around you here. Just some of the day-to-day, maybe grind of things, but not really. I don't know. It doesn't look like you guys are overly stressed out or feeling too poopy right now, so that's good. Uh, New beginnings. You know, note that this is kind of a circle. He's about to step through a portal into a new dimension. He's got his faithful companion with him. So he's not alone facing this journey. He's got angels divinely guiding and helping. We've got this butterfly of spiritual transformation over here. We have cranes, which are about divine justice. A lot of symbology in here and a lot of positive, fresh new starts. So let's see what's going on in the rest of the reading. See what we have here. The Sun card. Happiest card in the deck, right? This is about receiving that energy, that life-giving energy. This is about being able to grow things in your life because you're receiving source energy. The sun is very much about the illumination. It's about the brightest spots. Possibly for some of you could be a Leo. The sun is the planetary ruler of the sign of Leo. But for a lot of you, it really is just about receiving that life-giving energy that kind of puts a spring in your step and makes your eyes look bright. Really puts a sparkle in your smile. You know, when you see people smile and it's like it's not, it's very different when people smile from their eyes. You know, when their eyes are really bright. Very different. This is that kind of energy coming through here. Lots of love, lots of happiness, lots of positivity. Good stuff. Now, an effect coming into play, we have the Queen of Air. Queen of Air is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Doesn't necessarily have to be a female, but somebody who's operating in that energy. But this is somebody who's intellectually curious, intelligent, gifted. This is communication, emails, text messages, technology. This is about objectivity and decision making, logic, that end of it. Clearing away all that no longer serves you, seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is like the Queen of Swords. She's somebody who can clear things away. In this deck, the Queen of Air doesn't seem quite as, I want to say caustic, maybe that's not the right word, and off-putting as she can sometimes be interpreted through other decks. I remember when I was first studying the Queen of Swords, this was a long time ago. I just remember feeling like, boy, I hope I never pull her up in a reading. That, of course, has changed over time. I've matured. I mean, at the time I was like 19. You know, that was a long time ago. But with the Queen of Air, this is somebody who sees something. They see the potential and they're curious as to figure out, how can I bring that potential about? They like to tinker with things in a positive way and make things happen. And then when I look at this card up here, it kind of seems to me like you have on your mind here this Knight of Earth energy, which is about, I think a lot of you are looking at your options and you're thinking about, how can I pursue my next, what's the word? Material venture. For some of you, it could be seeking a house, but I'm also thinking, like, some of you might be thinking, what's my next job going to be? Or what's my next vocation? Or how do I want to put my energy to practical use? And it's like you're in this era of contemplation, looking at what your choices are and seeing what makes you feel the best about that so that you can manifest your next material thing. building a business, applying for a job, looking for a new home, whatever your ambition is at this time, a new house, that kind of stuff. It's like you're looking and examining to see how you want to begin your next journey, which brings us back to that dreamer card at the beginning, right? Taking that leap of faith. You want to start a new project because you're sort of at the end of one area, and you want to move on to that next good thing. Now, beneath you, we have the renewal card. Renewal is about assessing, looking back on your recent past, learning from your karmic situations, moving in some kind of new direction. But you're looking backwards in order to know how you want to move forward. And you are seeing that you've done something very positive. But people, part of the limbic system of our brain, that is part of the pleasure circuitry of our brain, is in setting goals and taking steps and seeing our forward moving process or progress towards achieving those goals. We as humans are goal oriented. We like to move towards something. We're ambitious in that way. We see things in terms of good, better, best, and we want to always move ourselves forward in that direction. This is why people tend to be financially better off in their 40s, 50s, and 60s than they were in their 20s and 30s. Because they're moving themselves towards something. They're learning their lessons along the way, and they're bent on self-improvement. This is sort of the energy I see, or feel, I should say, for you. Now, the Six of Air behind you, again, this is about taking a trip, moving on. Moving on. This does not have to be physically, but for some of you, it may be that you're moving, and that's why you've got this Knight of Earth energy here. You want to know where you want to plant down your roots. Like a new house. I'm feeling that for some of you. The Six of Air is, transition, transformation. Could be just a mental orientation even. Like, again, that idea of a new idea. What's something that you want to do that will expand and build on the talents and skills and knowledge that you already have for yourself? How can you keep moving in this forward direction of self-improvement? And then in your future, this is in the immediate future, basically. This is about releasing something. So even as you're looking back on your life and so on, you're going to be, I want to say, trimming the fat in some area of your life. You're going to be releasing something that doesn't serve its purpose any longer so that you can move on with a lighter baggage or burden load. Again, think moving on in a career or changing houses or so on. This is the symbolic or, I guess, metaphorical garage sale. We can do that in our emotional baggage. We can do that in our physical, material possessions kind of capacity. We're having some kind of a garage sale to come. But this has been kind of a time of reflection for you in a place of happiness and strength. This is very much about being in a good place for that. And the card representing you is options. Lots of choices. Every cup contains something different. And each one of them could be positive for you. This is, again, that energy of contemplation that we're feeling up here. Because as you're facing a new beginning, you want to make a choice on that. You don't have to procrastinate your choices. But be careful that you are choosing wisely when you do choose. And everything in here indicates that you're being very contemplative. You're thinking hard about things. You're circumspect in your examination of what you need to do to move forward. Your environment does indicate, though, the possibility of an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation and reviewing other people's motives. So be careful that you're not leaping into something that's not a good fit for you just because you do want to move on. Be sure that you take the powers of that Queen of Air energy and your renewal energy, and that you're moving forward in a direction that actually does promote you and your forward movement. Think clearly on that. And no, this 5 of air can be indicative of bickering and people not getting along. For some of you, it even could be kind of an inner conflict that you're facing. Almost like you want to do these other things and you're not sure how to get there because you keep talking yourself in and out of things. Sometimes we have to just kind of quiet our mind and put the option before us. Look at the cup, look into the cup, whatever that option is. Take a couple deep breaths and imagine ourselves there in our mind. How do you feel? Do you feel uplifted? Does your heart feel light? Does your heart feel heavy? Do you start to notice you're getting a mild headache or some shoulder or back pain? Our body can tell us things that sometimes our mind can get so cluttered we can't even think about it. And be sure to spend time in nature too and walking around. Staying grounded will help you quiet some of the emotional debris that might be talking you in and out of your best choices. Now, the hopes and fears card is the moon card. Now, the moon is the planetary ruler of Cancer. However, this card is associated with the suit of Pisces. The moon can be about deception, things going on behind the scenes that you are not aware of. That's where I'm thinking of this 5 of air. But also recognizing that if this is your environment card and this is your hopes and your fears, you may be fearing stuff that you're very aware of going on a psychic level. I mean, Scorpios are very intuitive people. It seems to me like you do know what's going on here, that there's something not quite right in that situation. Tap into that. Respect your inner knowing. Respect your wisdom in that. Release any fears that may be holding you back. That's one of the keynotes on this moon card here. You may not know all the information that you need to know just yet, but your intuition might give you kind of that little sensation in your mind that something's not quite right here. Now, your final outcome card is the 10 of Earth. And that tells me about material success and happy family life, financial security, finding magic in the little things in life. Very much so. We can see this as a continuation of this energy from the sun. We can also see this as the natural manifestation of this Knight of Earth energy as you're thinking about your new path and your new pursuit that you want to undergo. Whether it's a new house, or whether it's a new job, or career choice, or whatever that is, this Knight of Earth is indicating that you're going to be moving into the 10 of Earth. Because a lot of times I want to say you drive towards what you're looking at. Like, when you're on the freeway or something and you notice something off to the side, off to the shoulder, look at it just a little bit too long and you'll find that the car starts veering off in that direction towards the side of the road. We drive towards what we're looking at. So if you're concentrating on how can I best take my next step towards my financial goals or towards my material goals, finding a new house, moving to a new house, or maybe, whatever, you're going to manifest that. And again, this being a continuation of the sun energy and happiness, releasing what's no longer beneficial for you, that's also to come here. But these are your 2 outcome cards. And let's not forget either the power of dreaming. In fact, this is part of the energy that helps us make these decisions in the 7 of water. Kind of alluded to before. Not alluded, I outright stated it, but you get the idea. Like the dreamer, when you think about the fantasies in your mind for each of these options, you play it out in your mind when you're in the quiet, in the calm, and you can have some space from distractions, right? Think about, how would I feel if I were actually going to this location every day? You have that job interview and you say, am I feeling it? Am I not feeling it? Most of us have some kind of a sense for that sort of thing. We may not be 100% right, and people can be deceiving. And that may be some of that fear there, but let go of that fear of being deceived. Trust in yourself and your inner wisdom and your ability to smell the bullshit. I did. Oh, that sounded worse than I meant it. But you you get what I mean, right? Just trust in your intuition and your ability to find out the truth, at least enough of it to help you make that decision. And you're going to be okay here. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself, right? Oops, wrong way. At any rate, I do want to shuffle and put out an oracle card. And I'm working with the Healing with the Angels oracle cards. And forgive me if I did this before already, but this is my last of the 12 readings. And I really don't remember if I showed you the box for the tarot cards I'm working with right now. But anyway, those are they. So let's shuffle these oracle cards, see if Spirit can provide us some sort of guidance, clarity. Whoops, wisdom. I cannot take all of those, Spirit. Just one, please. And we do appreciate our spiritual guidance today, that they do help us and have been helping with all these readings. That the oracle cards match the readings to a T. That's just more non-scientific evidence, but it is evidence that there is a universe that's bigger than we are, that has unbelievable heavenly support system, whatever our tradition or mindset in that capacity, right? There's a lot more going on. And this card, this was one of the jumpers. And again, my eye was on it, and here it fell out again. Thank you, Spirit. See, this, I got to point this out. This is me doubting myself. This is one of my hurdles. Just like I said here, don't doubt your intuition on this thing. When those cards fell out, my eye fell onto the spiritual growth card, and it came right back again. That happened with somebody, some other sign this very cycle. Golly. Anyway, Val, preach to yourself a little bit. You know, really, heal thyself. Spiritual growth. Excuse me. Card meaning, you are going through a time of rapid spiritual growth. Enjoy the process. During this time, you may feel a mixture of many feelings: confusion, excitement, fear, and wonder. You love your renewed connection with the divine, and you wish you could read, study, learn, or meditate on a full-time basis. Simultaneously, though, you may worry about the implications that your spiritual studies will have on the rest of your life. What impact will your new spiritual pursuits have on your job, marriage, or friendships? These worries create a fear that may erode the enjoyment your spiritual studies bring to you. Surrender these fears to God, dearest one. Trust that you are supported, loved, and guided each moment. Don't worry about how your future will blend with your spiritual growth. Trust that the same power that brought you to your spiritual path will also take care of everything else for you. After all, this power supports all of the planets in the sky. It will surely support you perfectly too. Yes, don't be afraid.